Hi, welcome to ITV Asia. My name is Claire Chen. I'm the CEO for Four in Brand Consulting. I'm your host for the Luxury Branding in China program. Today we have the honor to invite our special guest, Alex Tang. He is the Sales and Marketing Director of Fraser Asia. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, thank you for coming here.
Pleasure to be here.
So first of all, you'd like to start introduce a bit about yourself and how long you've been in China and what brought you here?
Sure. Basically, I guess I've been in China for close to 6 years now. Came here, I guess I was at the point in my life where I just wanted to live and work overseas, just experience what it's like. And I guess I was at the time in my life where I figured it was time for me to make the move. It was now or never, and rolled the dice, came here, and I guess now it's been probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. So
you're from Canada?
Yes, exactly. I was born and raised in Canada, and Calgary. It's just about maybe an hour and a half away from Vancouver, a little bit smaller city. But like I said, after being here for 6 years now, things are the business environment here is very, very challenging. Mm-hmm. It's a great culture. It's a great place to be right now. So
great. So some of our audience might not familiar with the Fraser. We know it's a luxury children furniture. So can you give us a bit background about Fraser brand and how long Fraser been in China?
Sure. Flexa is actually from Denmark. It was established close to 35 years ago. We've been in China for about 7 years now. Flexa, I guess you can say, is more or less the world's leader in children's furniture. We manufacture kids' furniture made out of pine wood. And right now we have, we're sold throughout the world. And of course in Asia we have Flexa shops in China, Singapore, Taiwan, and South Korea. And of course we sell very, very safe and high quality kids' furniture.
Yeah, I know Fraser has been very successful in China. And how many stores you have in China right now?
Currently we have 68 shops in China.
Yeah.
Through franchisees and through dealerships.
Okay, so what do you consider what's a successful behind Fraser? And we know it's a luxury children furniture. And what's the strategy and in China, and what's the strategy compare Fraser doing in Europe, US, or other markets?
Okay, there's a few questions there.
Yes.
Basically, I would say, I guess to answer your question, why Flexa has been successful in China, I think that you could say we're one of the early movers coming into the Chinese market. We more or less saw the potential of China long before ever kids manufacturers had thought about coming to China. So our company took the chance and came to China, and we've been very successful ever since. I think to answer the question of why we've been so successful, it's more or less, I think we have very, very strong franchisees and strong dealers that we work with. They're the ones that provide the local knowledge to help us out. We bring the overall retailing experience, but they're the ones that more or less, run the day-to-day operations. So I guess it's a good team. It's a good partnership.
Okay. As we know, Fraser is like luxury children furniture, and the sales price higher than a lot of local brands. But what do you think? Why people buying Fraser? What's the key value and this luxury furniture provide to the consumer?
Right. I would say Flexa is definitely not cheap. But we are more on the very upper bracket range in terms of kids' furniture. Why people purchase Flexa is, I think, Flexa is made up of 4 concepts, functionality, flexibility, quality, and safety. So I think that in terms of, especially in China, obviously everyone knows about the one-child policy, which of course may change in the future. But I think because you have one child, the parents tend to spoil the kids. They want the kids to have the best products. They want the kids to, go to the best schools. And so I think that Flexa is no exception. I mean, we sell more or less the safest furniture. Our textiles are more or less contain no chemicals and toxic colorings. So that means if a child chews on it, it's very, very safe. So I guess you can say it's we're selling safety, we're selling creativity, not just furniture.
Yeah. Okay. I think one of the slogan for Versa is because children grow, because the product itself will grow with children in different age. Right. So, can you show us some example?
Right, exactly. I was about to touch up on that. When I mentioned the flexibility and the functionality, flexibility, I mean, flexa is short for flexible, right? This means that by, of course, buying legs and ladders, you can actually change the bed into different combinations. Flexa is more or less a system. So that is the flexibility part of it. And of course, functionality, it's not just for sleeping, it's for storage, it's for play, it's for studying. That's sort of the two aspects of Flexa as well.
Yeah. So, in terms of like when first we are create a lot of, let's say, lifestyle experience. So other than the product itself, what the franchise is going to promise and provide the lifestyle for the kids?
Well, I mean, I think that besides being furniture, I mean, I think we're more or less we're a solution to decorating kids' bedrooms. That's what we are. I mean, we're trying to change our positioning in China as well. So I think by buying the tower, by buying different, for example, you have a princess bed. So every girl dreams of having exactly a princess bed. And of course, you have a slide that the girl can slide down as well, so she can play with it. Every night before she goes to sleep. And of course, for the boys, we have the knight's bed. We have right here in this picture, we have a knight's bed. Mm-hmm. So it's more or less the imagination is actually it's endless with Flexa.
So it's not only just a furniture, it's actually provide the whole, the way they grow up and provide them a certain lifestyle they are dreaming about it.
Exactly. And it's also good that the parents, it's especially in China as well. I mean, they keep saying that Chinese kids don't have a creative mind. So, maybe Flexa can change their imagination, change their creativity and their way of thinking.
Okay. What will you say about the consumer profile of Flexa in China, and what is consumer profile, the major difference compared, let's say, the consumer for Flexa in Europe or other markets?
Right. I guess in China and in Asia, Flexa is actually very expensive, so we are more or less, we fall in the luxury category, you could say. Whereas in Europe and in America, it could just be, mid to high-end furniture. Mm-hmm. But here, we're a little bit more expensive.
Yes.
So I would say that is the main difference. And of course, in China, we have a lot of, very, very cheap furniture made in China as well. So competition is a lot fiercer for us.
Mm-hmm. So what will you define the major challenge for Flexa in China?
The major challenges, I mean, China just opened up a few years ago. I'm very sure we'll see a lot more foreign competition mm-hmm. coming. We already have another brand from Denmark coming into the market as well. There's, I hear there's companies from other countries coming in here as well. So I would say competition, and of course, we also deal with copycats as well. I think that all successful multinational companies and even local companies have this problem. Exactly. Yeah. It's trying to fight off the copycats. So I think, these, I would say, are two of the bigger battles we're trying to fight through these days.
Okay. Will you share a little bit with what would be the Flexa's future expansion and developing in China?
Sure. I think right now we have 68 shops. We are in more or less most of the Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities. I think right now we're slowly going into the Tier 3 cities as well. I think we have our strategy of, we want to open as much shops as possible, but of course we also want to control our expansion as well. So I think that as long as people think of Flexa first when they decide to purchase kids' furniture, then I think we're doing our job. This is more or less comes down to brand awareness, and we're striving to achieve that.
Okay, great. last question,
Sure.
journalist. It's be personal. Not a personal, don't worry.
Okay.
What is your definition of luxury?
Luxury, well, I guess luxury is very expensive, expensive products. But I think to me, luxury, and I think that many people will tend to agree, is I think it comes down to status, right? I mean, if you see somebody wearing a very expensive watch or driving a very expensive car, you know that person is obviously fairly successful. So I think to me that would be the definition of luxury. Anything that other people have and you wish that you have or that you're striving to get.
Okay, great. Thanks. Thank you for coming to our program. Thank you for watching ITV Asia. And this is Claire Chen. We host your program, Luxury Lifestyle Branding in China. Thank you, Alex, to being our program, and see you very soon.
Thank you.